Hello everyone! Today I wanted to go over with you how to create one of these lovely Crochet Hexagon Tote bags. Now they're very simple and easy to create. All we're doing is just making a series of hexagons and then sewing them all together in order to create this lovely little bag. Now if you need additional videos in how to create the hexagons, and also I will actually go ahead and I have another tutorial on how to create just specifically crocheting a hexagon. I will link that in the video description below for you. And also, when available, I will have a PDF version of this pattern available for purchase in my store, and I'll go ahead and link that in the video description also. And be sure to check out some of my other videos also for other great, wonderful, different bags and totes also, and different garments also that I make. So be sure to check out my different playlists. And I'll also be linking in the description all the materials that I've used to create this specific bag and links of where you can purchase them. So those will all be inside of the description. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, be sure to give it a little thumbs up like. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you have any issues during the creation of making your bag, be sure to let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to try and help you out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. To create this project today, we'll just need a couple of very simple supplies. I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. We'll need a darning needle in order to weave in all of our ends. We'll need a pair of scissors in order to cut our yarn. And then we're going to need about 2 skeins of yarn. I am actually using 2 skeins of this yarn. It is the Red Heart Cafe Latte number 4 weight. You can also create this with cotton yarn or any other different type of yarn that you want. If you're using a larger gauge yarn than a number 4 weight, then you'll probably want to get additional skeins of yarn. To begin this project, we're going to start with a magic ring. And then what we're going to do is start in the ring and chain 3. Now that we have our 3 chains, what we're going to want to do is double crochet into the magic ring. So yarn over, go inside the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through your first 2 loops, yarn over and go through your last 2 loops. And then from here we want to chain 2, and then we want 2 more double crochets into the ring. And then chain 2, and we just want to repeat that until we have for 4 more times. So we'll have 6 total little clusters of 2 double crochets, and then we're ending with a chain 2. All right, so here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clusters of chain 2 of 2 double crochets with a chain 2 afterwards. And then we want to grab our tail end of our magic ring and just simply pull it in order to close. And then what we want to do is into that 3rd chain of our first chain 3 of the round, we want to simply slip stitch into there in order to join. And there we are with round 1. For round 2, we're going to start in chain 3. Now this first chain 3 does in fact count as a double crochet, and then into your next stitch above the next double crochet, we're going to add another double crochet, and then into our chain 2 space we want to put 1 more double crochet, And then we want to chain 2. And then into that same chain 2 space, we're going to double crochet. And then double crochet into your next 2 stitches. And then double crochet into that next chain 2 space. And then chain 2. So essentially this is a repeat. So I'll do one more with you and then you can repeat it. So into the chain 2 space, we want to put 1 double crochet. And then double crochet into your next 2 stitches. Double crochet into the next chain 2 space. And then chain 2. And we want to repeat that 3 more times. All right, now that we're back here at the beginning, what we had the chain 3, which counted as a double crochet, and then 2 double crochets. So what we want to do is put 1 double crochet into this last chain 2 space. And then to join the round, we want to simply slip stitch into the 3rd chain of our first chain 3 of the round in order to join. And there we are with round 2. Now for round 3, we want to start off again with a chain 3. And then we want to double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then we want to put 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space. And then we want to chain 2. And now for our repeat for this row, we want to double crochet into the chain 2 space. And then we want to double crochet 1 time into the next 4 stitches. And then we're going to double crochet once into the next chain 2 space. And then we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to repeat that 4 more times. All right, now that we've reached the end of the repeats, now what we want to do is double crochet once into that last chain 2 space. And then we want to double crochet once into that first double crochet from the previous round. And then what we want to do is slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the first chain 3 of the round in order to join. Now just to show you, while working the hexagon, you start with the row of 2, and then you go up to a row of 4, and then to a row of 6. So each row adds 2 stitches to each row. So it kind of lets you see the pattern starting to emerge onto that. That is the end of round 3. All right, so now to begin round 4, we're going to start off same chain 3, and then we want to double crochet once into your next 3 stitches. And then we want to double crochet 1 time into that first chain 2 space. And then we want to chain 2. And now to begin our repeat for this round, what we want to do is double crochet into your same chain 2 space. And then we want to double crochet once into your next 6 stitches. And then double crochet 1 time into the next chain 2 space, and then chain 2. So there's a little visual for you. We just made, with each side, 1 double crochet into the chain 2 spaces, and then 6 double crochets, so a total of 8 double crochets, followed by a chain 2. And we just want to repeat that 4 more times. And now to finish up the round, we're going to double crochet once into that last chain 2 space, and then we're going to double crochet once into your next 2 stitches, and then we'll slip stitch into the 3rd chain of your first chain 3 of the round in order to join. And there we are with round 4. Now to begin round 5, we'll start with a chain 3. Then we're going to double crochet once into the next 4 stitches. And then 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space and chain 2. Now for our repeat for the side, what we're going to do is double crochet once into the chain 2 space, and then we're going to double crochet once into the next 8 stitches. And then we're going to double crochet once into the chain 2 space, and then we'll chain 2. And then we just want to go ahead and repeat that 4 more times. And now to finish off this round, we want to double crochet once into that last chain 2 space. Then we want to put 1 double crochet into your next 3 stitches. And then slip stitch into your 3rd chain of your first chain 3 of your round in order to join. And there we are with round 5. Now to begin round 6, we want to once again start with a chain 3. And then we want to double crochet 1 time into your next 5 stitches. And then 1 double crochet into your next chain 2 space, and then chain 2. Now for our repeats for this round, we're going to double crochet once into your chain 2 space, And then we want to double crochet once into your next 10 stitches. And then double crochet once into that next chain 2 space and chain 2. Now you just want to go ahead and repeat that 4 more times. All right, now for round 7. Once again, we start with a chain 3. And then we want to put 1 double crochet into your next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. And then 1 double crochet into your chain 2 space. And then we're going to go ahead and chain 2. Now for our repeat, what we're going to do is put 1 double crochet into your chain space. And then we want to put 1 double crochet into your next 12 stitches. And then we want to put 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space and then chain 2. And so we just want to repeat this 4 more times. And now to finish off this round, we want to double crochet once into the chain 2 space. And then we want to put 1 double crochet into your next 4 stitches. And then we want to slip stitch into your 3rd chain of your first chain 3 of your round in order to join. And there we are with round 6. And now to finish up this round, we're going to double crochet into this last chain 2 space. Then we want to double crochet once into your next 5 stitches. And then we want to slip stitch into our 3rd chain of our first chain 3 of the round in order to join. And there we are with round 7. All right, and now to begin round 8. Once again, chain 3. And then we want to put 1 double crochet into your next 7 stitches. And then double crochet once into your chain 2 space, and then chain 2. Now for our repeat for this round, we're going to double crochet once into your chain 2 space, and then put 1 double crochet into your next 14 stitches. And then double crochet 1 time into your chain 2 space, and then chain 2. And we just want to repeat that, going all the way around 4 more times. All right, and now to finish off the round, we're going to double crochet once into the chain 2 space, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet into your next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to slip stitch into your 3rd chain of your first chain 3 of the round in order to join. And there we are with round 8. All right, and now to begin round 9. Once again, we're going to chain 3, and then we want to put 1 double crochet into your next 8 stitches. And then we want to put 1 double crochet into your chain 2 space, and then chain 2. And now for our repeat, what we're going to do is double crochet into your chain 2 space, and then we want to put 1 double crochet into your next 16 stitches. and then 1 double crochet into your chain 2 space, and then chain 2. And so you just want to repeat this 4 more times. All right, now to finish off the round, we're going to double crochet into the chain 2 space, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet into your next 7 stitches. And then slip stitch into your 3rd chain of your first chain 3 of the round in order to join. And there we are with the end of that. And go ahead and tie off. And now what you want to do is go ahead and make 7 of these all together. And I'll meet you right back and I'll show you how to put these all together. Now to begin sewing our bag together, I'm going to use the slip stitch method. You can also just use a darning needle to sew these all together. But what we want to do is go into our corners and locate our chain 2s. So here we are with our chain 2s. So I'm going to start bringing in and into the on my top piece. I'm going to go in the front loop of that first chain 1. So we want the chain 1 onto this side. So imagine there's one chain 1 for here and a chain 1 that goes along this side. And same thing with the bottom. And then onto the bottom piece, what we're going to do is go into the back loop of that same chain 1 of the chain 2 space. Right, so now we started with our slip knot to join. We went through the front loop of the one side, the back loop of the opposite side, and I find it's best put my yarn underneath where I'm working and simply yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then we're just going to repeat that going all the way down, top loop, back loop, yarn over and go through all 3 loops. And we're going to repeat this until we've done it through a total of 18 stitches for just matching up this side. And now if you're noticing, we are going into the first chain 1 of this row, which would be the 18th time we've slip stitched to join. So we have one more chain 1 on either of these sides. Now what we want to do is grab another one of our pieces. And we're going to match it up. And we're going to continue coming down this side, attaching this piece to here. Now here's where it gets to be a little bit more fun. We're going to continue slip stitching into your next 18 stitches from here. So once again, this starts, we're going to work these two sides, but bring them together. So we're pulling these two sides. It's going to become the outer edge of the bag. So we'll continue slip stitching down here. All right, now that we're at the end of there, as a reminder, we're only for one side, it's only one of the chain ones into our little edges of our corners of our hexagon. Now we want to take one more piece, and what we want to do is we're attaching this next, our fourth piece, right to the next side of our hexagon bag. So once again, find your chain ones or your chain two space, go into the one chain one for the corner, and slip stitch down that side using your total of 18 stitches. All right, now that we're at the end of this row, we can go ahead and tie off. Now, just to give you a little image of what we've done so far. So if we look at the bag so far, here's our first hexagon we put on, the second, third, and fourth. So what we have is the very front was number 1, number 4 was the very back, and then we have starting number 2 and 3 are coming along, making the outer edges of our bag. So continuing on, we'll simply create a slip knot. Now we want to come down our side. We're going to attach piece 1 to part 3 down this edge, so 18 stitches. Once again, top stitch and then back stitch, starting off in our chain 1 space, or our last chain of our chain 1 spaces. All right, and then from here, because we're adding on pieces to form the outside of our bag, we're going to take our next square and we're going to work down the next 18 stitches, attaching, this would be piece 5, to the rest of our bag. All right, And then what we're going to do is coming back along, we're going to fold this piece down and we're just going to continue to attach it to the same hexagon and working back. All right, now that we've gotten to the end of those 18, now what we're going to want to do is match piece 4 that we've attached to the last side of piece 3. So we're coming up this edge. All right, and now here at the end, we can go ahead and simply tie off. And see, now we've got these pieces fully attached to the front and back. And so we're just going to repeat that last process, coming down along here and stitching up to attach your next piece. So now we're going to go ahead and attach these here, once again starting into those chain ones. And now we're going to add our next piece. All right, now that we've got that piece sewn on, we're going to work up this side to attach it to the back center panel. And then now that you're at the end, go ahead and tie off. And just to show you the progress, we have our front center panel. We have piece 2, 3, 4 is the back panel, 5, 6. All right, now continuing on. Once again, we want to slip stitch to attach this panel to the side here. All right, and then from here, we want to attach our last panel. All right, and then we want to fold and attach this piece right along the seam where we were just working. And then we want to attach this piece to our back center panel. And then at the end, go ahead and tie off. And there we are. Only thing left to do for this one is you're going to want to slip stitch down this last small seam, and then also on the other side, and then you can go ahead and weave in all of your fun little ends, and I'll meet you back here whenever we're ready to begin our strap. All right, so now that we've got the ends woven in, what we're going to do is come up to doesn't matter either side, but pick one, and then we come in, we're going to count down to our 4th double crochet stitch in and put a slip knot and come into the stitch and attach our yarn into that stitch. So it's our 4th double crochet over. And then we're going to chain 3. And then we're simply going to double crochet down the side, so into each stitch, and then we want to put 1 double crochet into the chain 1, and then into our next chain 1 we want to put 1 double crochet there also, and then just keep putting 1 double crochet into each stitch. And so we're just going to do this for every little corner like this. We're simply going to skip over where we slip stitch to join and put on either side into the last chain ones of the chain 2 space that we have yet to use. 1 double crochet onto either side, so for that chain 1 space, and then 1 double crochet all the way around. And then up here at the points, we want to put 1 double crochet into each of the chains, but that's just for the top points onto our bag. All right, and now that you're at the beginning, what we're going to do is slip stitch into your 3rd chain of your first chain 3 of the round in order to join. And there we are with our top border of our bag. Now from here, we're going to chain 3, turn our work, and then we're going to double crochet once into the next 9 stitches. All right, and then we want to chain 3, turn our work, and then again double crochet into your next 9 stitches. And then we just want to keep repeating that. Chain 3, turn, and double crochet into your next 9 stitches. And this, what it's going to be doing is creating our strap for us to be able to hold our bag. I find this style makes it so it's easiest on your shoulder. So go ahead and keep repeating that until you have the length of a strap that you desire. Now that you've got your strap the length that you wanted, I went with 35 individual rows for the strap. Go ahead and slip stitch and tie off. I'm leaving my end probably about 18 inches long, mainly because I want extra for the tail. I can always cut off more that I don't need, then add it later. And so what I want to do is lay out the strap so that there's no bends, twists, or anything into it. And then weave the end of the yarn into our darning needle. And then we want to line it up with the other point side of the bag. So we're going to locate our center where we had our double crochets going into the 2 chains. So here we have the 2 center, and we want to count over 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to simply insert our needle into that space. And we're just going to back and forth, stitch per stitch, sew on our strap to the bag. And I'm going to go 2 stitches. I'm going twice into each stitch just so I make sure I have a good strong bond for it to attach. I just don't want it falling apart or anything while I'm carrying something or coming loose, so I'm just giving it a little bit extra. And then our last stitch goes into that 3rd chain of our first chain 3 of that round in order to join. And then we just simply tie off and weave in the end. And then cut off your excess, and there we are. We have our hexagon tote bag. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a little thumbs up like. Let me know in the comments, and if you have yet to subscribe, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button and that bell notification next to it, and you'll be able to get a heads up notification whenever I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.